What do you think the wider problem is within Thailand that makes this a requirement? And what's the hardest part of it for you then? Could you walk me through like your day here? When you look around this place, if you had to choose like one thing that really like needs doing, have you ever adopted a dog out that had to come back? What is it that's so intense about it?
The love you get from the dogs, that fills up my joy and my energy.
Melanie, thanks for inviting me today to Saved Souls Foundation out here in the middle of nowhere, as you can see from the drone now. It's like, it was really far out. I thought it was going to be in the city for some reason, but it's really out it's really out in the middle of nowhere, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And do you live here as well, on site? And is it always like noisy? And
I live actually behind you.
in this pink house?
Yeah, the one next to it. If it's noisy, yes. So the dogs are howling, make howly nights. But you get used to it. And I have to say, what you notice here as well, it is usually quite quiet.
Mm-hmm. Just tell us a little bit about your life before Save Souls Foundation, where you're from originally, and what were you doing before Thailand?
Okay, I'm Melanie, I'm from the Netherlands. Before that I studied. Back in the Netherlands I studied psychology, actually. Oh. There you go.
Yeah.
And I always, throughout my previous works, I always had a keen interest helping. I love to help people, I love to help animals. And I came to Thailand together with my husband. And we fell in love with Thailand in, how you say this, the climate, the people, how they are. At first I lived in Bangkok, and then also I lived in Hua Hin. So I always try to help out the people and the animals as well. And I know this foundation already since 2019. So it is a little bit special that, this foundation has already existed since 2011. Mm-hmm. And then since 2019 I know this foundation. And I know this foundation has always been struggling a little bit. It's never been like getting off the ground. And helping animals, helping the people is really like a passion for me as well, to step in and help here on site as well.
And it's been five or 6 years in Thailand total for you then, or longer than that?
Altogether 10 years.
Oh, it's 10 years?
More than 10 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is your husband from the Netherlands as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. And does he not work with you in this project?
No, it's too intense. This is something maybe interesting to really be here on place. It's actually quite intense. So for him to be here on place would be too much.
What is it that's so intense about it?
It's like normally when you go to a job, you go from your home and you go to your job and that's it. As soon as I wake up, I'm actually on my job and anything can happen at any moment. So being on this place particularly is, in that sense, not of saved souls, but just being on a place where life and I say personal life and your work is together. Mixes is not for everyone. What
do you think is the biggest misconception of doing this kind of work? What do you think is the way people might think it's like and what it's really like?
The majority of the job in general is you take care of the dogs. I mean, it's cleaning up, feeding, and whatever happening. It's not only just cuddling the dogs. I think people love it. Oh, just cuddle the dog and that's it. And this is wonderful. When there's time for it, this is wonderful to do. But it's also just taking care of the dogs in the best possible state as well. But I have to say, people coming here, you kind of know, you expect that as well. I mean, you cannot expect the dogs to be cleaned up themselves. So this is part of the job, doing it as well. And also the days can be, I wouldn't say challenging, but the days can change so much things happening, and some days are easy, some days everything is going on. So to be really here on place is I notice this too, for a lot of people it's not easy to do. Anything can happen at any day.
They get sick or injured, or something happens.
They can get sick, they can get injured. We also have a lot of requests to help out, so we also go out to help out where we can. Although I do have to say now, we work with such a small team, we really have to filter where we can help out with. But if we can, yes, we would love to.
And how many dogs have you got here in total?
We have now 350.
Whoa!
Yeah.
And what about the process itself? Is there a lot of paperwork involved? Like if I wanted to adopt a dog today here, would it be driving off with me today? So
when a person is interested to adopt a dog, we always want to see where the dog will end up with. So we want to see the house. Could be also just, if it's, for example, in Khon, we would love to do visits. And otherwise, we were depending a little bit on photo material, video material, to show the whole surroundings. Also the background, what you have with the dog is very important. So if you have already experience with a dog or not, if you're a first timer. And then also just a little bit your daily life, how does it look like, work-wise, how much time would you have for the dog. And when everything fits, then you're more than welcome to sign the adoption contract we have. and then we do another check with the dog. We do the health check, vaccination, everything, make sure everything is okay. For the dogs also, we cannot give a guarantee if the dog is 100% healthy, because these are all rescues in the end. But we want to give as much information as possible, and then we go from there. And if everything is fine, then another visit can be planned, and then the dog can be adopted and go home.
So
But this is actually for national adoptions. But international, then if people are interested to adopt international, then you also have to do the rabies test, the microchip, and also there's a waiting period as well. But still, it's still easy.
And what is your acceptance rate? So, like, for every 10 people that want to adopt a dog, how many would you usually accept?
I would say almost the people who are interested to adopt are very keen on adopting it. So I would almost say 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
So about 20% it's a no.
20% it's a no, due to maybe the dog they like is not the perfect fit for them, for example. And sometimes also situations change. Sometimes in the end they find another dog can happen, and sometimes it's the location is not suitable for that type of dog.
Have you ever adopted a dog out that had to come back?
Yes, and we were very open for this as well. Like, we have also our adoption contract, and if it doesn't work out, we love it that people just contact us back. And when we can talk about this, okay, how can it work? And if it's not needed, if it's not possible in the situation, then the dog can come back. We had it with a particular situation where a dog was adopted, and in the end the dog didn't fit in with the other dogs. This can happen, and they tried it for a long time, and then they reached us from, hey, we feel like this dog is not feeling so well. And then we're more than happy to take it back. So we're not, if a dog is adopted, we're not like, okay, that's it, you sort it out yourself. We love this communication, and everything is okay, and updates this as well. I have also a lovely adoption group where I get to see those beautiful stories of the dogs running in the snow, etc., and all those updates and photos I receive. So all the dogs are also available for adoption. I have to say this.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all available for adoption as well.
And what kind of things are you called to outside to help with?
But we call to outside to help with if injured dogs where we can, and then we work also together with a vet. So we don't have a vet on place here because we work with a very small team, and we have a good vet we're always in contact with. So when there's any problems, we go to him. Also for serious problems, we go to him as well.
Well, how many people work in the organisation? Well, you say it's a small team. How many of you are there?
We work now all together 10.
Okay.
So very, very small.
300 dogs, 10 people. On a personal note, you also don't do this for money, right? This is not your actual job. This is something you help with. Right?
This is not my main job. This is something I help out with because I'm very passionate about to help the dogs. I make websites.
Okay.
So
bit different now.
It's a big difference, and the good thing is I can do it from everywhere.
And do you think it's going to be a long term for you here? You think you guys, you want to live out your old age here, or do you see this as more like a one of many lives you might live passing through?
I find this a good question. You never know what happens in life. So, like, I never expected when I was younger I would end up in Thailand. I never expected I would end up in a dog shelter. So, guys, you never know where life brings you. But I would say also, because I really want this project to flourish, so this is a longer term project I would love to be attached to and, spend time with and really make it as beautiful as it is.
What do you think the wider problem is within Thailand that makes this a requirement? Save Souls Foundation. Do you think there's? I mean, in my village, for instance, I've neutered 9 dogs, including my own, and yet I have neighbours come round and they say, I got you a puppy. I don't want a puppy. I don't want any more, you know. But then I take it on and I'm like, and then I have to pay the vet bills for it and whatnot. Do you think there's a wider issue with the dogs that maybe needs to be tackled? So places like this may not need to exist in the future?
The dog problem in Thailand is very big in general. I mean, also, even if I drive around in this village here, I could just put another 100, 200, 300 dogs in this shelter, in this foundation. I think, the main problem where it starts is sterilization. So if the dogs don't get sterilized, then the population keeps on growing. And to tackle the problem really starts with this. And Thailand is such a big country. So if you compare it to Europe, you cannot even compare it because there everything is under control, for example. But Thailand is such a big country population-wise, also reaching to the people, and then also the dogs and everything. And it really starts with the beginning. The best tackle to start with is sterilization.
And do you get any cases of like abused dogs or aggressive dogs, and how do you handle that here?
For me, also abused dogs is difficult to see. The reason why is this is also on a personal level. You don't understand why a person would hit or would misuse another dog. So if this happens, for me, these are more like the harder cases to watch as well. How do you handle cases like this? Even if a dog is very aggressive, you have to do it always with care and also with steps. And the healing process is not only like the wounds treatment, it's also the how you said it, the psychological treatment as well that you give to the dogs, that the dog get trust again in the humans. And sometimes it can take years, and sometimes I'm even surprised, sometimes it takes like a couple of months, or sometimes like, this dog should have been more scared or more vulnerable, but this dog is relatively actually doing okay with humans, which I sometimes pleasantly surprised with also in the end. But you treat it with care, devotion, love, everything, medication, everything what is needed.
Just for my own interest here as well, I don't know much about this, but is there a protocol of euthanasia here? Because it's something in the West that if an animal was suffering, we would use that approach, but I'm not sure if it's heavily used in Thailand or not.
It's a good question. So I would say standard no, but with that being said, you don't want a dog to suffer all the way until the end. If it's a common process in Thailand, no. But when the circumstances are there and there is no future for the dog, there should always be an option, or could always be an option for that.
Could you walk me through like your day here? So what time do you start in the morning? You come in, what does your day look like? I know you did say it's always different. But how would that look to somebody? I guess it's not always just like feeding dogs and playing with dogs.
That would be wonderful. Sometimes we have also visitors coming here. I can just cuddle and play with the dogs the whole time. No, the morning routine for me starts with waking up, having my breakfast and everything. And I usually try to go through emails and messages and the organization of that. But it's not the first time other tasks call me away. Something happening, and something is broke, something needs maintenance. So sometimes my amount of time spending on things I should spend time on is very limited. Then I'm also helping the staff, and we also have now volunteers helping to help them with their daily planning as well. If it's needed, because we work with such small staff, if it's needed, I sometimes also have to step in, helping with small things, with feeding or cleaning, whatever it's necessary. But I usually try to organize everything that needs to be organized for the foundation too. But I also have to go out for vet visits when it's needed. I also have to talk sometimes to companies, etc. So I'm also going a lot out to Khon town as well.
And what's the hardest part of it for you then?
It is sometimes hard when a dog passes away. Especially because you get so attached to them, you get so attached to each of the dogs. So if something happens with the dogs, can happen any day. Something can happen. Any day something can change. So this is a struggle, but also sometimes is a struggle. Yeah, not every day is like going smooth. The unexpected things happening and so on. I'm luckily a person. I'm quite relative with things and rational, and don't bring it too close to my heart. The love you get from the dogs when you see them, their happiness, that fills up my joy and my energy.
Nice. Yeah. Now, I do have a group of subscribers, you know who you are, that follow these interviews around, and wherever I go, they then go and visit, you see. Can people visit here usually? Can they stop by? And what kind of things they can play with the dogs, or what does that usually look like?
Yeah, they're more than welcome to come. So every day. And this is also the unexpected. So when you have visitors here, okay, I will join and I will help them and I will show them around. So the visitors' times are from 1 until 4 p.m.
Okay.
So usually in the afternoon. The reason why is the morning is really meant for, cleaning everything, feeding everything.
Chaos.
Chaos. So if you visit Dan, you get chaos at the foundation. So the afternoon is where it's time for the visit. And I love it if people want to come here. I love it when people it could also be in this area, it could also be in other areas, really spending time with the dogs too. I love it also when people want to walk with the dogs, but then you really have to know the dogs a little bit better for that step. But coming here, spending time with the dogs, getting to know them, maybe in the end even adopting.
We got to get some dogs adopted from this video, I think.
So I'm happy to share too. We have now, so half a year, we had a rescue mission for a group of altogether 13 Huskies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were in a very, very bad state, and we did our best to get them healed, recovered, and so on. And we have now 2 of them in adoption process going to the USA.
Wow.
Yeah.
So does that happen a lot? Do people adopt internationally a lot? Or?
I would say for our reach, yes, because we're so small. So I'm very happy to share this. So every adoption in international, national is really, really wonderful. Does it happen a lot? So yeah. So last year we got altogether 21, and 21 seems small for you or for other people hearing this, but for this organization with such a small reach, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy to this year to double the number. So 40, 42.
Yeah.
Or more, or even more.
That's the mission, yeah.
That's the mission, yeah.
When you look around this place, if you had to choose one thing that really needs doing, and it's something that stands out in your mind, and every day you see it and you think, oh, I got to do that. What would that be?
Having a very good clinic.
Okay.
Having a very good clinic section. This really stands out because our clinic section is now very small, and I love to have a bigger clinic section where people can come. For example, they can bring their dogs here. We can help them for treatment, and then when they're ready, we can give it back to the people as well. This is what I would love for the foundation, to have a good working clinic section as well for spay, neutering, and when they're injured, etc.
And that would require a whole new building. It's not renovating a building. It would require a whole new building, or renovate a building with equipment.
I would say renovating a building. So I can show you. We have in that section. We have the foundation already there, but it needs all the rebuilding of it to make sure it's suitable as a clinic.
And what's the budget for the project? Do you know around about? I'm sure you don't. If you've not built a lot in Thailand, I happen to have. But do you have a budget for the project or?
The budget for the project would be a couple of 100,000 baht.
A couple of 100,000
yeah.
baht? I thought you were going to say a couple of million baht then.
But wow, if this can be, it would be wonderful.
So funding is really that tight then?
Funding is really that tight.
All right, and Melanie, well, thank you so much for trusting me with your story from Saved Souls. And if you want to get involved, I'm going to leave Melanie's details below. There'll be a link there to leave a direct donation. I'll put a contact to Melanie as well. And if you want to visit anytime, it's a really nice drive out of Khon actually. It's nice to get out of the city. And you go down this dirt road, like something from the Hills of Eyes or something, and it's out in the middle of nowhere. I was really shocked with the location, but don't be intimidated. There's a big gate that keeps the dogs in. So come on down. Melanie will probably be here, and you can take a look yourselves at the foundation. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Melanie, to this? Or?
No, I would love it. A lot of the people come, visit the foundation, spend time with the dogs and the cats. We also have cats as well. Making a donation is very, very appreciated, and in the end, adopting. Yeah.
There's the last plug. Let's get some dogs adopted. All right, thanks a lot, Melanie. Thank you.